Yeah. That's what's awesome about the green screen and everything. Last time I was actually at my grandfather's, to be more specific. I just didn't feel like saying it at the time. Here, I'm back where I am. It's just I switched out the picture. But before, it was actually me outside. That's why it hurts so much to sit down and get up, because of where I was at. For lives? Lives? What do you mean? Okay. Well, anyway, we're just going to wait for some people here like we always do. And all that. I would do that. Thing is, I had a reaction channel and it just didn't do as well. And I don't take ideas. Like, I get inspired by what others do, but all the ideas are either from you guys that you recommend me or myself. I know, but as long as it's on stream, it could be like a live only type of thing. I almost see no point in it, really. I mean, I'll do more like big things in the future with live streams and stuff like that, but for now, I can't think of anything more to do outside of show you guys intros and outros and pretty much just the generic Q&As and stuff. Oh, and that Lori April Fool's what if, or whatever. Jeez. Hmm. Hmm. I think I have something. Add scene. Add scene. Media. Slide. Video. Other. Really? I need to do freaking camera? Come on now. Camera? Frick. Media. Screen? Freaking no! Get out of here. Slides? This might be what I'm looking for. Download. And then did I? Wondering if those what ifs that I just made, I actually saved as a picture. Because if I didn't, and people can't see it off of Discord or my YouTube because they're not a member, I might have to actually put that on my Google Photos because I want to actually make that a live introduction. I want people to be able to see what ifs are in store if they're not a member, because I feel like it's fair. Come on, load. Load. Thank you. Took you only 17 years. You gotta love whenever technology freaking takes forever. Okay, I'm gonna download this. And then let's see how this slide thing works. Bada bing, bada boom. Frick! What do you mean file support is not supported? What? How about we do this thing that I call in my freaking country work? Because that sounds like an amazing idea. You know what? Screw it. We're going to go to my Google Photos, and I'm going to show you guys it this way. So, here is, right here, picture of Rick Grimes driving Lightning McQueen, if you guys didn't see it on YouTube and Discord. And what I'm going to show with the what ifs and everything will be when more YouTube people pop up. And now we can get back to my screen. Do you plan on doing any Marvel what ifs soon? Well, the Marvel what ifs I've already done is one thing, but yes, I am going to be doing, if we go back to my Google Photos, one of the ones on that first list, if you paid attention to the first list, was what if Sandman didn't join Venom the remake? Now, if I can find where it's at, that's my reintroduction into the Marvel what ifs. And right here is the picture for what if Sandman didn't join Venom the remake, and I showed it on YouTube as well a while back. So yes, Marvel what ifs still are going on and everything. It's just I'm doing it by one genre what if at a time. Like, even, let me show you again. I used to do it in the way that it was one of these things at a time. Like, look here. See how, like, one of them, by the way, this is in case no one checked out the Discord yet and can't be a member to check it out on YouTube. These are the what ifs that I'm going to be doing after What If Rick found Lightning McQueen and the real life what if. These are what I'll be working on next. Of course, I'll still be uploading all the stories that I showed you guys and talked about with you guys, so you guys will have to watch those first. But I used to do one at a time. It was either The Walking Dead or Dragon Ball, and it would just be one at a time. But now, doing it like this in franchise order and doing it one franchise what if at a time is much easier because it gives me more audience, more people, and it doesn't shoo away audience members. Because let's be honest, if I kept it up with doing one genre at a time, people would start to leave the channel, and especially if they saw that I was never doing that subject again, they would just buzz off. I know it sounds like I'm being like clingy towards fans or whatever, but it just seems more right to do it in that way, as to not lose people, I gain more people, and get a bunch of cool what ifs and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Well, if you're interested, can we watch? No, I'm not going to react to anything. Reactions are a no-go. They were a one-time thing on my reaction channel. This is just solely based for stories, because that's how I got this big. Sorry. But I'll be more than willing to share work and more open-air stuff on the channel. That's why I even popped up my Google Photos. And here is the screen. So that way, whenever we come in and it's more people come in the stream for today's Q&A, they can see if they're not a member, they can see if they're not a member or didn't see it on Discord, they can see the next 10 what ifs I got. How soon do you plan to do the Quicksilver remake? I will check in 1 second. Let me check my list. I also have, if you guys also want to take a look at this, we can actually look at, we can actually take a look, because King Devin will also tell you this. I have all of my what ifs and stuff up to What If Daredevil Was Fully in No Way Home on my Google Photos. But I have made and gotten and changed and got rid of a lot since then. So a lot of these are null and void. So don't trust every what if you see here. But we can take a look at the Quicksilver one in question and see where it is on the list. Okay, so here's the Marvel ones. Nope. Where is it? 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 Where's that on the list? Because I know it's here. I know it's here. Maybe I missed it. Let me check again. Because I know that I saved it. Because I planned to do a remake. But I can't tell where it is specifically. It could be higher up. It could be lower down. Honestly. Shut up, phone. I love how we're not even on the Q&A stuff yet. We're just looking at stuff on my thing. What if Sandman didn't join Venom remake? That's already old news. What is my phone freaking telling me? Random people? Okay, I don't care about the random people right now. Shove off. That's freaking Facebook stuff. And that is not what I am worried about right now. I am worried about finding that Quicksilver what if. Guys, help me out here. If I'm like shoveling through too fast or something, because I know that I saved it. And by the way, the lists have updated. So I could just have put it in and not realized. It's weird. What if Ultron, Hawkeye? Okay. Wait. Okay. What if Iron Man didn't kill Becky? Our half got snapped. Okay, maybe it's down more. Because I know that wait. Here it is. Right here. So, unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we get to this remake. But I do promise you that while many stories aren't going to happen for a long time, it doesn't mean they're never going to happen. But it will. It will. Are you serious right now?
Hey, y'all can probably tell me.
Are you telling me? Tell me that I got friend requested by a freaking church person. Yeah, well, guess what? Maybe I don't want to be part of the church. Maybe I don't care about any of that stuff. You ever think of that? I would rather you not. Hi, Nick. Can I ask you something? Yeah. Totally. You can ask me something. How about I ask you something? Get out of here. End of story. I don't deal with churches or any of that bull crap because it doesn't interest me. What if Deadpool was an Avenger? Actually, if we go back to the list, I have several more that I've updated since then. If we look, Deadpool should be somewhere here. Either that or I put it way farther down. Screw the list. I put Deadpool in No Way Home. I have Deadpool in The Avengers Endgame and several other Deadpool MCU what ifs. Now that he's actually going to be a part of the MCU via Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm glad someone finally asked a question. I was going to be like, hey, dang, we're like not getting to a Q&A thing. But yes, I'm going to put that picture back for now because it is, I'm going to leave it as is, just so that whenever people get in, if they weren't a member and they did not see the Discord, they can see the next 10 batch of what ifs that I got. I know that I didn't finish what if Rick got found Lightning McQueen or the Abraham Lincoln one, but I figured 2 stories in advance, almost done. It's best to work on the next 10, or at least get them out to the open and know what I'm working with. You know what I'm saying? Shane was such a great character. I didn't even see Shane on here. Oh, because of what Enigma Explorer said. Okay. Now there's something I've got to check, and we're going to wait for some people, get some Q&A questions in, because, hey, that's what it's all freaking about. Okay, come on, load phone. Come on. Come on. Okay, I can't see it that way. I'll just see what happens. All right, I have What If Bob Survived already saved, along with that Bob and Negan one that we talked about, because that was actually very poetic and funny about how alike comic Negan was like Bob. Yeah, it kind of was. What if Rick didn't grab the grenade from the tank? Then that's obvious. They wouldn't have gotten out. It would have been like my already done what if Rick's group died at the CDC. It would have been the end game. It would have been a pointless effort. Well, both of your what ifs result in what I already have saved. What if Shane died in season 1 like the comics? And it would have literally just been like that for both of your what ifs there and in Fugo, or however you say that. That's ironic. So they more or less took Bob's character and put him in the comic Negan without anyone knowing, and then Bob himself in the show, nobody ever knew it. And the only reason I say they're alike is because the multitudes of groups thing and Negan being the only one left. Bob was in multitudes of groups thing. He was the only one left. I feel like that's so cool, though, which is why my what if Bob was Negan what if is like so worth doing. You know what I'm saying? Another message request? Really? What? What could possibly be so freaking important? No? Okay. Just a joke? That's what I thought. What if the claimers ambush Dawn's hospital cops? I have the Claimers and Dawn's group in several what ifs. What if Jenny wasn't bit? Well, I don't think I have that saved. Let me think for a sec. I don't think I have that saved, but I feel like there was a good reason why I didn't. No, Bob and Carl never interacted. I didn't really see a need for them to. Maybe to give Carl hope? Who knows? Oh, I was about to do what if Bob and Carl talked. No. What if Jenny wasn't bit? Yeah, I guess that could be the first idea. I don't know why I never thought of that before. Or the penny one. Sheesh. It's the obvious what ifs that you overlook. Can you imagine that? Oh, jeez. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. That hurt. Got a little bit of a nerve. That's what I hate sometimes about cracking a neck. You crack it the wrong way, you could seriously hurt yourself. I'm all right. Yeah, but after you mentioned the Brian Blake thing, I got rid of it. What if the group ran into and got into a shootout with Dave and Tony in season 1 outside the CDC? And what if they took Randall hostage? Then that seems very convoluted. Oh, hi, King Devin. By the way, King Devin and anybody who comes in, if you're not a member and you didn't see the Discord post, now you can see the 10 what ifs after the first list that I had for free right now, straight in front of you. Just so that way you don't have to worry about being a member or anything to see the stories after the first set. I know that I didn't do, or I know that I have a lot to upload, obviously, and I know that I didn't complete production-wise What If Rick Found Lightning McQueen and the Abraham Lincoln one, but I know that 2 stories close to the end of the first list, it was best to get the next batch out because you guys know me. I do my stuff, I do my stories, my work, my production, my uploads, all ahead of schedule. So it's the best thing to do. You know what I mean? But they're there for you guys to see, and the only way I could show this was sharing my Google Photos, which isn't a big deal. What if the prison sickness didn't happen? Well, then only thing I can think of is that people wouldn't die and there'd be a lot more people in the prison battle. But overall, not too big a deal. And yeah, maybe the group would have a little bit more like morale. What if Alpha met the Saviors before she went feral? Well, Alpha didn't necessarily go feral. Feral is the ferals and the cannibals and everything. But Alpha, her and her whispers, they were just crazy, but they didn't eat people. I did a what if on what if Negan won the war, and Negan and Alpha met in that one. And I have several Negan and Alpha what ifs saved, and I've done a few involving the two. What if Walker Lou bit the rest of the claimers? Only thing I can think that would change would be that Daryl never runs into them. He would probably run into Rick and their group, like Rick, Michonne, and Carl, and then Rick just wouldn't bite. He would eventually bite someone else's throat out. Daryl would not get beat up, and ultimately not too much would change. Oh, and Len would probably still be alive until Rick, Michonne, Carl, and Daryl would all take them down. Or wait, I'm an idiot. I just literally said that Len would be alive and the claimers take them down, even though Walker Lou biting the rest of the claimers would kill them. I'm an idiot. So basically, it would just result in Rick, Michonne, and Carl not getting attacked by them, and Daryl eventually running into Rick, Michonne, and Carl. Rick eventually biting someone else's throat out, and yeah. Sorry, I had a complete brain meltdown there for a second. I also, guys, have Rick Grimes driving Lightning McQueen for anyone who didn't see it. But as for what if Judith died, I have what if Lori and Judith died, or what if Lori killed Judith, and I have what if Pamela killed Judith. So, yeah. What if Walker Sophia bit Otis? Wait, did King Devin recommend anything yet? Okay, never mind. I'll give him time. I just couldn't make out the names for a second. What if Walker Sophia bit Otis? I already have Walker Sophia and Otis and Herschel and a bunch of other what ifs saved. I don't want to make anything too close together. Too many topics revolving the same kind of subject or plot would be very old for an audience. I'm not going to fill my audience with like the same material. No way. Even if I make nods to my other what ifs, or like I do similar things or something like that, I just do what I can. Oh, I was just saying that I will give you time just in case you were thinking about what ifs, because I didn't see that you recommended anything, King Devin, and then I realized I wasn't paying attention to the names, and either or, I'm just going to give you time, because I thought that you recommended one up above, but it was just Enigma Explorer and Infigo Chompy. So, you're good. What if Carl survived? Yes, that is saved. What if Walker Herschel's head bit Michonne's? Really? Really? For Michonne to die like that, that would be extremely stupid of the writers. Like, nobody, I can't do that idea. That is far too stupid, for that to kill her. Michonne would not die to a head, even if it was Herschel. I have a series on Amy living, a video on Jim living, and Ed living also, which I plan to do a remake of all three of those. And, spoiler alert, Amy and Jim actually live in my Lightning McQueen what if with The Walking Dead and everything. But that's two ideas so far. What if Jenny and Penny weren't bit? That's funny. What if Jenny and Penny weren't bit? The two separate what ifs, they both rhyme. That's funny. Not only are they like two people not getting bit, but they rhyme. Hey, Slick. By the way, Slick, if you're not a member and you didn't see the Discord post, you can now look at the next 10 what ifs that I got saved besides the 10 that I already had. Or not saved, but just the next 10. Well, then he would kill her, and Michonne is a spin-off character, so you would need someone to replace Michonne. What if Dale died of a heart attack? Well then they would lose their morale. The group would lose their morale a lot sooner and would become monsters sooner. Ultimately, Dale needed to live when he did to make room for other moral compasses and keep the group going in some semblances. You go too long without a moral compass, you destroy the Walking Dead's pretty much way of going about. That's why right after Dale died in season 2, they made room for that with Tyrese and Herschel. And then you got people like Eastman and Morgan stretching the influence. You know, the moral compasses kept going. You split them apart too long, it destroys the fabric of the reality. What if Michonne and Andrea join the Saviors? I have Michonne. If you guys saw the hallucination in season 10 of Michonne wondering what her life would be like with the Saviors, I'm going to actually make that a full-fledged what if and dive into how that would actually change the story. So that's like the closest you're going to get. What if Daryl was handcuffed? People ask me about that constantly. But I'm going to do what if Daryl was on the roof with Merle, because he wouldn't be like Merle to get himself cuffed in the first place, like Merle did. So ultimately, Daryl being with Merle is the only way that's going to happen, because it's just not possible. What if Sophia wasn't bit, but instead survived alone, eventually found her way to the prison, early season 3? I have Sophia going to a bunch of different groups. I have her already, the movie even, of her and Negan, and I also have her going to be joining the Claimers, the Whisperers, Virginia's group, Padre, Troy's group, and getting saved by Herschel's family. So, yeah. Fort Benning is a dead end, because if they went to Fort Benning, it was overrun. So they would either die on their way there, expending all that they had, or they would die trying to either clear it or get away. It's just a dead end. It would be pointless. What if Tara was taken by the CRM instead of Heath? I don't know about doing that, because I have Heath going to Oceanside and everything, replacing Tara, but it was never to, because we don't know what happened to Heath. So how could I really do that with Tara? If we don't know what happened to Tara, and I've done this before with Heath at Oceanside, it wouldn't really change much overall. It would really just be a pointless story, because we don't know to this day what happened to him. Well, at that point, as the what if you're talking about, Enigma, Andrea was already going to die. He was already at Woodbury about to get killed by Milton's walker at the time that you're describing. It's just not possible. What if the group went to Vatos HQ after the CDC and ran into Dave and Tony? Okay, that's very convoluted. Number one, deleted scene confirms the Vatos gang died. Likely Dawn's group, which will be a separate what if. Number two, Dave and Tony and Randall's group and all of this, it's just too convoluted, mashing groups together just for one convenient what if. There's got to be like a really good reason. What if Shane left for Fort Benning on his own just after the CC? I have Shane going to a bunch of other groups, but Fort Benning, he would just end up killing himself. Literally, he'd have to join another group. Fort Benning is a dead end. We're not doing any Fort Benning stuff. It's been confirmed, and there's plot points and identifications that prove that Fort Benning is done. And yes, while there might have been survivors from Fort Benning, that doesn't mean anything. That just means that people lived from it. That doesn't mean that it was okay. It just means that people were lucky enough to get away before it became a bigger deal. What if Herschel kicked the group off the farm? Then they would likely go to Fort Benning, which would get them killed. And it also depends on when you're talking about. If he kicked them out after the barn scene, I still think that they would have tried Fort Benning, except it really... I feel at that point they were going to stay. They were going to stay at that point because it was all about Sophia. So, yeah. I'm sorry. My throat was getting dry. What if Shane left the group after CDC and joined Joe? Okay. I have Shane joining other groups, but as for the militia... I have other groups joining the militia, and I did not think about Shane joining the militia, so you know what? There you go. Hello, Gargiulio. By the way, Gargiulio and anyone who did not get the message, this right here, okay, let me go back to the screen sharing. And we're going to go all the way down to that list that I had first. Sorry, excuse the Rick and Lightning McQueen photos. It's my current project. And we're on Google Photos screen sharing because this is the literal only way I can do this. And it's stupid. Okay, so this right here, this is the list that you guys saw on my YouTube and Discord and everything. These are the stories I have done. The Ron and Harry Potter ones being exited out of the equation to make up for John Wick because Harry Potter's just best left watching. And these are all the ones I have, like, production-wise done. But upload-wise, we're ending the Daryl and Merle one. So I am very far ahead of schedule, if that wasn't plainly obvious. And I know that while I didn't do these two yet, the ones you see down here, I decided that since I only had 2 stories left, that I would make the next 10 and that I would put them on the list. So for anyone who's not a member and who didn't see the Discord notifications, here is the next 10 that I'm going to be working on once I'm done with those other 2 stories. And the Deadly Reckoning, The Walking Shadows of Salazar and Wick, which I'm surprised no one mentioned, is my take in John Wick in The Walking Dead. ChatGPT, along with the Omniverse of Nick name, and along with the Merle and Beta spinoff name, helped me develop the name for this story. Right here. It's basically taking Daniel Salazar, making him an actual assassin, because I still think to this day that he's like the John Wick of Fear the Walking Dead. And it's making him and John Wick pretty much like brothers in a way, working part of the same organization, meaning that Daniel's officially an assassin, and pinning Wick in The Walking Dead actually. It's going to be freaking epic at a taking of even more sick Salazar and putting Wick into The Walking Dead. What if Martinez's militia and the Claimers met each other before the governor killed Martinez and got into a fight? I don't know. I don't think I could do that. As for the Cars spy plot, that'd be weird to shift that into the first movie, really. Because the first movie had to introduce Lightning McQueen. It can't just introduce Mater first. That'd throw the universe all out of whack. Daryl's hallucination of Merle couldn't have been real, because in that hallucination, Merle had two hands. But we all know that he cut one of them off to get off the roof. So it couldn't have been real. Daryl was the one who got injured trying to find Sophia. I could have what if... Hold on. I have Dale going missing instead of Sophia, but that's the closest you're going to get. What if Merle found Sophia before he joined the governor and the two of them survived together? I have Sophia joining the governor, but that's probably the closest you're going to get there. Strand joining the CRM? Sure. Merle and the Vatos gang is saved. What if Merle cut through the metal? What would have that done? I don't think... I think he might have tried that. Like Dr. Gordon and Adam did in the first Saw movie. I likely think that the metal wasn't cuttable. That's just me throwing a Saw reference in there. What if Carl went missing instead of Sophia? That's saved. Shut up, TV. I know there's no activity, but that's because I'm talking to my people. Is that so wrong, TV? Sheesh. First the Facebook, and then the Messenger, and then... Sheesh. I have, even though I put it off for so long, I put and saved what if Alpha and the Whisperers saved Rick. So technically it's that idea, just different. What if Tyrese's group found the prison before Rick's group? Let me think. Then what I can think is that they would meet the prisoners, and without any help, they could barely get through that room that they were in without Carl. So they might have just died, honestly, without help. What if Walter... I'm not into Breaking Bad stuff. Did you guys watch John Wick 4 before I say my what if? I did. I watched all the John Wicks. Took me a minute to watch 4, though. It was like earlier... It was like near the end of 2023 that I watched number 4. Tardy shot Carl by accident. Oh, yes. Are you going into comic detail? Because Tyrese and their group were far away from Herschel's farm, so that wouldn't be possible. Unless you're trying to throw in a comic twist, I don't know that. So far, we got 4 ideas. What if Rod, Torque, Redline? What would that have done? Now I remember him, but what would it have done, though? They would have just had maybe a little bit of an extra spy, but it wouldn't have done much to change the story. Oh, I am being a very bad YouTuber right now. How are you guys enjoying the ending of the Daryl and Merle story, as well as the spinoff for Merle and Beta? And how are you guys liking the new changes and everything? The updates, the memberships, the perks, and the updates I've been giving and everything. How's it all going for you guys? I know who he is, Gardulio. It's just I want to hear something from even you, how it would change the story. I like the what if Daryl died instead of Merle a lot, and the spinoff shows Merle's growth. He wouldn't have helped Nat back in season 1 and would have made fun of him. Yeah, he was. Or, yeah, he would have, I meant to say. Shane successfully shot Randall when he got into the fight. Yeah, but Rick would be very mad at him, and I feel that it almost might have resulted in Shane dying sooner. What if Andrew died instead of Tomas? I have Tomas surviving as well as other people getting bit instead of Big Tiny, but that's the closest that you're going to get. Like I said, I don't want to do too many of like the same material, idea, or concept, because if I do that, then it's just going to be too familiar to the point that people are going to notice too much of a pattern and like dive away, you know? What if Ed wasn't abusive? I have Ed surviving as a remake to what I already did, and it's actually going to result in him being good. But if I were to do a not abusive, I feel that it would either be a direct correlation as to what I'm going to be doing for the remake, or it would just result in him dying just as a nicer person. Yes, of course he would have still tried to kill Rick. Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to show you guys something I just worked on as of last night. Actually, you know what? I've got an even better idea. We're gonna put a new scene, okay? And we're gonna put a video here, and we're gonna get rid of you and you and you. I'm gonna show you guys 3. I'm going to show you. Okay. You need to shut up. Thank you. Dang it. Now I have to do it a certain way. Hold on just 1 second. Okay. So got that. And then number 2. And then last but not least, number 3. Now just give it a good second to take its time. Now I'm going to show you these one at a time because that's how I have to do it. Now, this intro and outro that I just worked on is the intro and outro for the finale to the spinoff of Beta and Merle, but I want to show you them as a spoiler regardless. Behold. So yeah, basically is epic music with a bunch of pictures at a very fast time and my name and everything. One more time. Yep. And that's the intro that I worked on. Here's the outro. And this time at the bottom, it says like, subscribe, and stay tuned. I'll pull it back for the pictures. Pretty cool, huh? And now I'm going to show you the intro that I worked on because the outro to what I just did the intro on here is just something stupid. It just says get the frick out. And there's nothing too special about that. But this intro that I worked on is pretty freaking cool and funny.
Hello, everybody! Oh, sit down, shut up, and maybe you'll learn something.
It says sit down, shut up, and maybe you'll learn something, basically, if that wasn't obvious. But yeah, that's something I just worked on recently. What if Hercules fought Thor? Well, we don't know much about Hercules in the MCU, but if you want to recommend me a Hercules from a different aspect, question mark, then I could possibly save that. We got 4 ideas so far. Jenny and Penny not getting bit. That's still funny that they rhyme. Shane joining the militia and Strand joining the CRM. Jenny and Penny. That's so funny. I didn't realize until you guys asked me about those. They were the 2 first what ifs. And I'm like, okay. And then I realized that they rhyme and everything, and it's the same plot. Both of them not getting bit. That's so freaking funny, though. What if Rick drank the Grimace Shake? It's funny because I actually have what if the Grimace Shake started The Walking Dead, and what if the Grimace Shake started the actual apocalypse. I think it's just one or the other. I could be doing both, but I know that it's at least The Walking Dead that I have that. What if Eugene didn't sabotage the bus? Well, the only way he wouldn't sabotage the bus is if he knew the cure. And if he knew the cure, I already made a what if on that, and I plan to make a remake of it. So, yeah. Bunch of stuff. Oh, also, for anyone who didn't see, close eye view of my what if Rick found Lightning McQueen, Rick Grimes driving Lightning McQueen. I've actually, at this point, put car doors for Lightning McQueen, and inside of him, I made yellow seats. But since it's in this field, it's not going to hurt his eyes or anything. It's going to be weird. It'd be weird to see like Rick through Lightning McQueen's eyes, which is why I didn't make that a picture, because that would be cursed. But I made it to the point where the cars in the Cars universe have gone through crashes and damages and above and beyond, especially in the first movie. So giving Lightning McQueen car doors and seats, it's not that complex. You know what I'm saying? People joke, what if, like, what is actually in the cars from the Cars universe, organs or metal gears and parts? But I literally think it's metal gears and parts, because that's just them joking. We obviously have seen cars get bloodily injured or brutally injured and stuff in the Cars movies. So if it was blood or guts or anything like that, don't you think they would have showed that? I know it's joking and it's just a human community, but God. That would be extremely... I can't really do that, because Gabriel was more or less, that was his first time doing that ever, whereas everybody else had experience with it. True, they could have still gone blind because it was their first time in season 1 with the guts and everything. But I just feel that blinding everyone would destroy them. It would make the entire point of the story pointless, because it would limit everybody's sight, which would be vital, because ones like Rick, Daryl, and Glenn and stuff like that, you can't just nerf them like that, you know? What if Abraham's family didn't leave him? Well, we don't know much about Abraham's family to really give them a story. So I can't really do anything with that. Same with Morales' family. Honestly. Let's see if I got any more cool picks. Oh, Lightning McQueen with car doors. How's that? How does this look? I also have another one that KJ made for me. You can thank KJ for this picture too. No, if he lost his sanity there, then he would just die in season 1 like the comics. So that's pretty much how that would go. 4 ideas, but honestly, I don't even care. What if the group joined the Vatos gang? I have the Vatos gang joining Rick, but that's the furthest you're going to get. Jacob? Jacob. Fear the Walking Dead. Jacob, Fear the Walking Dead. Well, I guess they are kind of a lot alike. But since there's so much alike, and I feel it would have almost been the same story, because they were that much alike. They literally ripped Jacob off of Gabriel just without blinding him. And they made Jacob ultimately a little bit more braver than Father Gabriel. But yeah, I seriously think that the car door feature for Lightning McQueen is pretty freaking epic. And you should thank KJ. And these are what the seats are going to look like, too, for inside Lightning McQueen. And it's more or less just, yeah, gears and wires. And yeah, this is the other car door feature. Blah, blah, blah. And blah, blah, blah. And again, blah, blah, blah. And there's something else that I wanted to show because reasons. Okay. And if you guys didn't see it on my channel, Shane and Merle are going to end up getting in a fight in the beginning of the story over how real the situation with Lightning McQueen is. And who agrees with it is definitely not who you expect. What if Father Gabriel was found early is already saved? What if Rick was shot by Otis instead of Carl? That's saved. What if Rick's group never had the opportunity to kill the cannibals and Gareth's group joined Alexandria? I have several Gareth turning good stories. Like my Merle story, he turned good and sacrificed himself. In my What if the governor never What if the governor met Negan remake, he turned good in that along with Dawn. And stuff like that. I have several other Gareth what ifs saved for the future. What if Shane went with Rick to save Merle in Atlanta? Why would Shane go back to save him? He's the one who talked to Rick about going there in the first place. Why would he go? Shane's whole deal was to stop Rick from going there. If Shane goes with Rick, the entire Atlanta group dies. They don't have a leader besides Dale, if you want to include him, to save the group. Everyone there would die. And then it would just be Rick, Daryl, T-Dog, and Glenn and Shane against the world. I doubt Teddy would want to be around anyone other than his own kin. Him being at the prison is different, though. What if Glenn didn't save Tara? I don't know how I could really do anything to stop that because it was just who Glenn was. Tara didn't do anything, and that's just how it happened. If Shane hadn't gone in, it probably would have just resulted in the same thing happening, except Shane would have not have raped Lori, and he would be there to see everybody else get out. But ultimately, it wouldn't have changed too much. Are you guys looking forward to the stories and everything here, especially with like this stuff? Like how see, here's the thing about this also is the fact that it's a human in a zombie show driving a lifelike alive car. Like how much more awesome can you get with this freaking concept? I'm just about this is probably going to go into a highlight of one of my best stories. I'm not even joking. I actually want to pull back that car door scene because that's actually really cool, even if it's just a crappy AI thing. Oh, by the way, this is my door handle thing. This is the way I did the door handle. And it's just a generic handle. But the scissor doors, more or less, is good. I just think that it was just the best that I could do. We're actually going to stop the Q&A here. Because we got a decent few ideas. And ultimately, I just want to talk to you guys about the what ifs and stuff. And like what's in store for the future. See what See what you guys are most excited for and everything, you know? Even if we just get a few generic ideas today, it doesn't really matter. What matters is like talking to you guys and everything, and like, you know, seeing what you guys are most excited for the future. Plus, the stream's almost over anyway, so might as well sit and relax and talk to each other.
Hello, everybody! Sit down, shut up, and maybe you'll learn something.
Mainly, it could be one of these stories, the stories that I have saved from you guys, or my other list, which is somewhere. This is my Google Photos. Ever since I switched it over from my phone, I've been putting them straight here instead of in a gallery, because whenever I had my phone, I just had a gallery which to put my photos in. But now I only put photo collages and overlays and crops. Sorry. I'm just looking for the other list. There we go. So it could be from this list, the ones you've already recommended me, or this list, or the ones that you guys saw in my other quick memos and articles. What if Sydney was in The Walking Dead? No one's ever recommended me that before. That's going to be the final recommendation for today, because that's actually a really good idea. I already have Ghostface and other things being in The Walking Dead, but that's like the only Scream one. But yeah, I think we're pretty much geared up, especially the second Big Bang and the Deadly Reckoning, making Salazar and Wick part of the same assassination program, and another Nick and another thing. But yeah, we're gearing up for some freaking epic stories, let me tell you that. But anyways, we're gonna call it here. Honestly, I mainly put this up and did the screen sharing and everything and all that because I felt bad for the people who weren't members, and this was a private post just for members specifically. So for non-members, this is just here for free. So now you guys get a better idea of like what else is being worked on next, along with like, you know, just talking with you guys. Like, you guys deserve to know plenty about these stories and like what's going on without spoiling every single little detail. Because if I did that, I might as well just be telling you guys the story. I mean, which I do, but you guys get what I mean. But thank you guys so much for joining today. I will see you guys next Saturday for the next Q&A. I will see you guys later if I'm on Xbox, honestly, which you guys can go on my Discord and see me play on my live Xbox channel on Discord, which the links, everything like that, are always in the description of every one of my videos, along with community posts, blah, blah, blah. And thank you guys for the 5 ideas. Do appreciate it, especially the Jenny and Penny, which rhymes again. Funny, stupid, I don't know. I'm easily amused. And I hope you guys are as psyched as I am for these stories and updates and all that. Now, I am not going to do member posts like crazy on YouTube. Just that one mainly, unless it's really, really important. But if anyone wants to become a member, it's a $4.99 price on the channel, and it never raises and it never lowers like all the other member stuff does. I feel keeping it a generic $5 price is fair enough for my folks. Don't want to rob them. I don't want to make them not trust me or anything like that. You get cool, awesome badges, and you get awesome features and all that, you know, basic membership stuff. And like I said, thank you guys for joining and the ideas. See you guys next Saturday, later on the Discord, tomorrow on the Discord mainly, and stay tuned for future updates and spoilers, etc., etc. And Monday with the finale of the Daryl and the Merlin beta spinoff and the entrance into Vegeta becoming immortal. And with all that out of the way, hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will see you guys later. Sorry I talked your ears off. But let's be honest, if you're on the channel, it's because you like hearing me talk. Let's be honest.